يا لطيف.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
وهلا والله شباب، ورجعنا لكم مقطع جديد بهيتمان 3. نلعب اليوم مهمة Death in the Family. نكمل اليوم رحلتنا مع هيتمان 3 وبتمنى لكم مشاهدة ممتعة، ولا تنسونا من اللايك والسبسكرايب. خلينا نبلش. The man behind the curtain. الرجل وراء البرداي او الستار. اوكي بلد عربي.
We underestimated the constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers.
ايوه.
Look, you don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did,
She'll make it right. She always does.
we have a fix on Carlisle. Come on. We got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood.
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
بدنا نتخلص من هدف واحد بهالمهمة، هي أليكسا كارلايل يا. بدنا نلاقي ملف عن آرثر إدوارد. نحاول نعمل بدون ما ننكشف. هاي opportunity. لا عفوا.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlisle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
هذا PI محقق خاص.
A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlisle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlisle.
اوكي طيب. لا تشوفني تعال. تعال طوني تعال. حلو، هذا هو الفولت.
By the way, I told Kate about those texts.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but she just thanked me. Said she understood the position.
فينا افوت ولا لا؟
You think I'm letting in the gardener?
That's a bit excessive.
Okay.
Smart enough considering the fact that I spotted violations to get inside the house.
بكذا نفوت عنده. هاي شباك ما انتبهنا له. trespassing. يي. بس لا اذا مات ما عاد فيني. عم فكر كنت اطخه، اطخ التريا وتوقع عليه بموت، بعدين باخد اوعي. بس اذا مات ما عاد فيني اتنكر بزيه. اروح تعال. يعني اسف انا بس مضطر. هات لنشوف الأواعي. Meet Alexa Carlisle in the foyer. تعال. أحلى كيف وقف. حلو هلا بطلنا trespassing. بدنا نلتقي كارلايل عليك.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madam Carlisle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've travelled from London. Would you care for some refreshments, or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
نعم لا خلينا نشتغل فون على الشغل.
As you wish. If you'll follow
أنا رجل عملي. حلوين أواعيقة.
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlisle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother is in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlisle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
عاملين إشاعة إنه
the crime scene. I will tell you this.
ثواني.
This concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlisle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlisle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
بدنا نفتش على كلو. مين اللي قتله لزاكري اللي هو أخوه الهدف اللي بدنا نقتله أليكسا كارلايل.
Zachary's suicide note.
منتحر.
A sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
Mr. Fernsby?
Looking
I'm
good,
done
looking
with the crime
good.
scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlisle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madam's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
This is very useful information, 47.
اوكي ده
So how
نحقق
does
مع
one solve a
ال
murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you
right.
ask the suspects for alibis? Or
نشوف
perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
بدنا نشوف حجج الغياب ثواني ليخلص لعبه.
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexia used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
طيب عرس هاي سألنا واحد. نسأل الباقيين.
Looking good today, sir.
عرس يا عرس.
Pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation?
Hi,
It's
Rebecca.
Rouge, that's what it is.
Rebecca Carlyle,
Come here to
can you
play
tell me
funeral
about
and then
yesterday
show up like
evening?
nothing's
We
the
don't
least
really
bit
see much of each other, my brothers and I.
Don't get your knickers all
Suppose
twisted.
it takes our mother's
telling you,
funeral to
she's
bring us
not
together,
fit to
and
be
even
in
then, it's not
charge
like we
anymore.
sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 8:45. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands.
وليك وراكي ما تسمعك.
Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to...
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
هذا كل شيء على راسي. تعال أستاذ تعال.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not very thorough, are you?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us.
طيب هذا أدلى بحجة غياب. كان عم بيسكر يمكن مع إدوارد على هو ما فهمت. وريبيكا كانت على اللابتوب طول الليل، قعدت 3 ساعات عليه. هلا نشوف إيما مرته لغريغوري اللي هلا سألنا.
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. How do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want to know?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
طيب شوف إدوارد، وين إدوارد؟ ليك تعال.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30.
الله خوتتني
Anything else I can do to help?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
نعم مضغوط هذا ما بيتحمل. اوكي هذا كان مع كريغوري عم بيشربوا بالإن. طيب
Always led by example rather than by words and meaningless gestures.
خلي سأل ريبيكا مرة تانية. طب تعال نشوف ريبيكا. ما حبيت ريبيكا ما طقتها. ما فينا أسألها. لا بدي أخونك. لك وين رحتي؟ ثواني فينا ناخد صورة هون. مع وثائق انه في مثل ثواني نشوف. طيب هلا نشوف ثواني.
You look tanned. I bet Mother spent the last week at her Cyprus estate. Am I right?
I'm not at liberty to say, ma'am.
Oh, come on. I need to know what's going on. It affects me too.
تعالي نعملك سبتيو يا لطيف. سوري بشوفني هذا إذا عملت لك سبتو ولي مين ما شافني. طيب ايوه.
That's a token for a vault in the Milton Fitzpatrick London Bank. You need a pair, and you gain access, no questions asked. I bet that's where Madame Carlisle keeps
يا الله لا
a copy of the
أجسه.
evidence file. Who carries the other one, I wonder?
فيوز منيح ما شافوني. مين مع المفتاح تاني؟ بدنا مفتاحين. منلاقي الفايل عفوا. يا مكان راح تكتشفنا قدامي.
Just wait a few days. I'm sure it'll sort itself out.
طيب.
Hello, sir.
هلو حبيبي هلا.
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
اوكي. إذا فوتو مع المفتاح. اي والله مع المفتاح.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
اوكي هاي لا حجة غيابة صحيحة لريبيكا. طيب طيب ما نحن بالغرفة. اوكي لا هون السكيورتي يمكن.
Junior calling from Morgan Yates and Cohen. I need to get a listing of
trespassing اوكي بالغلط. طيب
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlisle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
يا أخي تبا لك. إذا عملنا لك سبتيو شو بصير؟ اي شو كل العيلة معها من هالمفاتيح؟ ايه صار معي ذا كيس فايل.
You now have both tokens needed for us to get the file.
حليناه بدون ما نعرف.
Time to take care of Alexa Carlisle.
ايوه بقى بس قتلة لهديك نقتلها. طيب هات لنشوف. طيب حلو كتير حلو. اوكي فيوزز معي فيوزز بتكون.
No power, no portrait.
So, Madame Carlisle wants a picture taken. If you were to assist with the missing fuse, I'm sure the portrait would be one for the ages.
حلو.
She expects the family photo to be done any moment now.
I need this shoot to happen. Have you ever heard of knocking? Well, you need to leave.
ايوه اكس بوكس واي.
You gotta leave
ايوه اذا عملنا له اكسبوز كهرباء. واي مي هون. لا 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 خلاص اسف يا انا ناسي انه هذا عم بيعمله قدامه. يا الله يعني ما كنت شرطة انت شو كنت سويت؟ هو ما عم زبط لك وضعك. نحط لك فيوز. يا عم شافتني ياي. بس يا عم التقوا بشغلكم. يا ليك المي حلو حلو. بس بقينا بدنا نعمل هون الكابل وبيمشي الحال. ليش ما صور؟ طب ليش ديسكايز؟ طب هو خليه هو يصور. اذا هو صور شو المشكلة؟ هلا بنشوف نجربها ثواني. حلو. نازل فاميلي. بدي الحق اعمل الهاي قبل ما يجوا. ان شاء الله ديروا وجههم ديروا وجهكم. حلو. روح 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 الله يقويك. اوعى تتكهرب يا واد. حلو هذا هو.
Excellent, 47. Madame Carlyle is on her way down for the family photo shoot. Let's see if any memorable moments will play out in front of the camera.
حلو والله لا تصير باربيكيو. شكلها زبطت الخطة يا شباب. لا شو دخلني أنا ما دخلني. ما أنا من العائلة.
I understand that you have a lot of questions. Please be patient for a little longer. I will address you in the sitting room afterwards. Right, get in position. Let's get this over with.
أقول في عدا ناقص ليك وإجا باتريك.
There's a puddle of water here. Well, never mind. Let's just get this done, shall we?
عادي ما راح يصير شي. شوية مي ما راح يصير شي.
Chin up, Edward. No one wants to look at that long face.
You're such an idiot, Gregory.
I'm fine, Rebecca.
Fine? You look like a nervous wreck.
Stop bickering.
روح عطية. يا لطيف.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
روح نقبع. شو صار؟ الاتصال. روح نقبع قبل ما يلقطونا عمي. باي باي. سيرشنج ولي. حلو. وهيك شباب نكون خلصنا اليوم المرحلة الثانية من هيتمان 3. ان شاء الله يكون عجبكم الفيديو. لا تنسوني من اللايك والسبسكرايب، وبتمنى لكم نهار او مساء سعيد. السلام عليكم.